Welcome to an hour of power. I am Keith Anthony Blanchard, spiritual teacher, musician, author of the best-selling book Homecoming: Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, and your host of Center of Light. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Center of Light on this beautiful night, all you sexy human divine souls. You are so delicious. Have you realized that yet? And clarity is of utmost importance. Clarity. You want to know what salvation looks like? It looks like this. Looks just like that. This is an idea, a pictogram, an engram of the new possibility of you. This thing right here. The God fire that lives in all of us. Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, they're no different than you. They just got the secret. Now that you have the secret, what are you going to do with it? You set yourself aglow with the God fire through a clear mind, and higher you acquire wonderful possibilities. Center of Light, Center of Divine Unfoldment and Reinforcement. I don't know if you heard the news, but in is the way out. In is the way out. Homecoming: Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, my new bestseller. Thank you, Gavin Lee Davies, for this book deal. Lavender Soul, Beautiful World CDs. I'm selling them. I used to sell them $20 per. Now I'm selling them $20 for all three albums. And I think I had the music off, but either way, those links for this book, to purchase this book, is in the forums, as well as the link, same link you can use to give me a review, which is greatly appreciated. In is the way out. In is the way out. You go inside, it's infinite. You go outside, there are consequences. The inner consequences, trust me, are so much lighter. It's really what you want. It's what you've been looking for, what you have been looking for all of your life. Looks like you when you look in the mirror, but that's not what it is either. It goes even deeper than that. Let me tell you about my guest tonight. Her name is just different. Tzveta DaVinci. We're going to be speaking about DaVinci spiral activation. I have a surprise for her. She's going to love it, I hope. Let me tell you about my guest tonight. The links are in the forum to my guest. Make sure you go all over her webpage and make a big stank. Let her know you exist. Let's see. Scrolling. Tonight is Center of Light Radio. My guest is Tzveta DaVinci, the DaVinci Spiral Activation. She says, open quote, "You can live an extraordinary life. I am here to share my work and passion with you. My website, which is in the forum, introduces you to the culmination to date of my life's search for truth, beauty, wholeness, and inner joy. Over 25 years ago, I underwent a deep transformation. Everything in my life collapsed." Sounds like me. "With the collapsing of the Berlin Wall. Since then, I started a conscious journey of self-exploration, learning various healing approaches and techniques, and developing my own tools for transformation, realizing that all I really needed was myself. Now I am here for you, and I want to help you go through your own personal transformation. Weaving together various ancient and contemporary teachings from around the world, I have honed my transformative healing methods in workshops, vision quests, seminars, and training programs on 4 continents: Europe, Africa, Middle East, and the United States of America, where I have lived over the past 2 decades. My work integrates healing traditions ranging from African shamans and Hawaiian energy healings." I loved Hawaii. I was so blessed to play music there for 2 months, all expense paid, and they paid me for it. I loved it. When I got off the plane, something was alive in Hawaii. To the teachings of the school of mysticism of the Indian philosopher Osho. I love me some Osho Rajneesh. It includes neuro-linguistic programming, exploring the inner working of the mind in the language we use, Zen tarot, family constellations, meditation, sound and energy healing, and creative hypnosis. Together, these healing approaches have imprinted a diversity and uniqueness in my work that has allowed me to develop profound, what a beautiful word, oh my God, profound experiential sessions, DaVinci spiral activation, Tanza dynamic transformation, music, movement, meditation, and charisma style confidence coaching are a few of my tools she has that I have created that can help you shift your perception of yourself so that you can experience your own life and journey in a different way. I invite you to explore those tools on this site, which is in the forum, and join me in your own personal transformation. My dear cosmic sister, welcome to Center of Light. It's been a while. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Wow. I'm sitting behind here and giggling and going in chills. And it's a most incredible joy. I want to start with how I met you. This is a beautiful story that I really I've been wanting to share for 3 years. This is exactly 3 years, and you will recall it. You were invited on Todd Medina's show, and you did something absolutely magical. And at that time, I was living in New Jersey, and I was doing videos every morning with my dog, walk with my dog on every topic. And you touched me so deeply. You activated something with your energy, with your voice, with what, it's not even what we're saying anymore. It's like energetically that I went out and I did this video. Have you been touched by someone? And this created a ripple effect. And this is, oh, I've got chills. This is just to show us that, like when we're in our truth, when we're in our undeniable, unapologetic truth, we touch people and it creates ripple effect. And then I had so many people commenting on my video that I have touched them. And Kate, you are a magician, a true activator, and I'm like honor, yes, and yes, all your shows are deeply resonating because it is going to be time where we're not going to talk anymore. We talked so much. We've talked so much. We're just going to look at in each other's eyes and we're going to dance and giggle and celebrate with the gods and the goddesses. Well,
it's amazing. You and I are actually on the same vibe already because that little gift surprise I told you I had in the green room, meaning before the show, for those who don't know what the green room is, you started off the same way I was going to start off, and which was how I met you. I met you through Todd, and some time goes by, and we are Facebook stream friends, barely acquaintances, and then one day, I saw Tzveta doing a ceremony. And it moved me so much so I saw you spreading his ashes in the ocean, and it was in slow motion. And the notion I really got from that was something so powerful, so beautiful. I recognized you as already moving through the grief, or at least somewhat. I mean, how could you be in grief when I saw you truly dancing like a Sufi on the beach in slow motion, spreading your son's memory in the vastness of the ocean? That moved me, sister.
This is where the real true magic is. Yeah. And this is the reason I moved to Miami. This was December 2018. I came here because he used to live here and we had incredible memories. And why I did what I did, there's a reason behind, and this is like one of my big mission to share and to comfort everybody that have ever had the illusion, and I'm emphasizing on this big time, the illusion that we can lose anyone. It's an absolute illusion, and I have been prepared. It's from a 3D level. I'm gonna use words that I don't use just to make the difference. Devastating, horrific, horrible. This is what we are conditioned to use these words, but this is the working and how we use the language. I chose at that point to call it most powerful experience that shook me and transformed me. And this is one of my messages, like most powerful messages, the illusion of separation that we came here on this earth. And this is the bigger trick, and it starts from this is when we go to the very root, and we all know this. I'm just here to remind you. And a lot of people feel sorry for me. Do not feel sorry for me. I feel blessed beyond, because this is to experience this and to, it's like unpacking most incredible gift. He actually showed me, me together, because now he's more intimate with me than ever. And today I had a very powerful a thought form. I can start and talk, Kate, but we started, I didn't know where we're gonna go. That it's very connected to this, that when we remove the image, and you can try it with any live person right now, and this is one of the tools I wanna give to you. It's incredible, and see how it resonates. When we remove the image, when we remove the name, when we remove everything about the perception, and you are left with the essence. And if you can see people on that level, because the essence, it's like extracting the essence of a person. And this is Tzveta means flower in Bulgarian. So the flower and the whole, and I'm gardener, and I'm crazy gardener. The flower, it's my one of my models how this creation create, and I have learned so much from the garden that we planted ourselves, and now we growing, and it's from my point is to release the fragrance of your life.
I love that.
From the most powerful, difficult challenges, it's like the flower never get bitter, the flower never get dull, extracts, we literally can extract from each experience the essence and bring it into life and release it as a flower. So Christian actually helped me to release my own fragrance.
You know, there's a very powerful saying, and it feels perfect to interject and introduce this. It says, "Forgiveness is the flower you have crushed. Forgiveness is the fragrance of the flower that has been crushed under the foot."
Oh, yeah, a lot of analogy, but yes, this is I'm here for anyone who wanted to, who is ready, who is ready. It's a readiness. We cannot drag people to this. It's time where whoever is ready will find its own way. We don't need to drag anyone anymore. Nobody to need to be dragged. That's my, and so much more. so, so Christian, it's like I removed the image, I removed the name, but the name, it's like a pocket that the name, it's like a keyword that I look at him now, and I'm really, what a joy to have him, and my gratitude for the life he had, 28 years. I'm really, really grateful that he came to me, that he touched me, and I'm gonna use this a lot because it's powerful. He touched me profoundly, and he became bigger than the universe. He grew up, and this is what I believe. And before we start, I wanna pause here and just to give you another tool. Maybe many of you know it, but to take a deep breath and to hold it, because we come with breath in this earth, breath in, and there's a pause. And if we can pause, in this pause, it's where our life happens. And breath out, we go out of this world. And this is the mini model that I use over and over and over as a basic, as like coming to the basic. It's the breathing. So if you have a moment, take a deep breath through your nose and feel your body, and just hold it there until you reach your boundaries and your limitation and push it even further. As long as you can hold it. And this is from Osho. I had the honor to be initiated to one of his workshops, and it's my book that I left Bulgaria. 1995, I left Bulgaria. Actually, it's been more than 25 years. And this was the only book I chose, was Osho. And journey around 4 continents, and it doesn't matter even what is happening to us. It doesn't matter. We all have story. And for me, as I've been dropping the stories, extracting the essence, unpacking the packs, this is what I want to bring out. And this is what I want to present or share with you, the DaVinci spiral.
I love it. I've been watching you with this, and I just love it.
And I did Kate activation, and we're gonna do it very raw and organic here in front of you to see. And I'm gonna bring the basics. It's a lot. It's a big body of a lot of things. I'm gonna make it as short and sweet as possible, but to bring something. And what it is, I want to start with what it's an organic high technology. As you're bringing these spiritual technologies, this is a technology. This is the blueprint. This is the basic that I want to go through this. And then I have Kate's spiral, and I'm going to go through other spirals as well. I have the collective spiral of our humanity, the new activation that started 2012, and I want to touch a little bit, so to see something that is relevant. And if people have question, Kate, please stop me. When I start, I cannot, like, I just go, 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 go.
So she's going to do my chart. She's going to reveal my chart because of my birthday, and you're lucky because she's going to tell you my innermost secrets that no one knows. So welcome to Center of Light. My guest tonight is Mrs. Tzveta DaVinci, and we are speaking about her program, no, her life, her way, her delivery, her soul is expression, the DaVinci spiral activation.
Yeah, well, what is this? This is, I have done around the world so many activation, training, initiation, live with shamans, and all this new age that actually is the old age. The new age is the old age. They're the ancients. I was like a maniac, one after another and after another, and then I sit with all this and what is this? And for very little, I've been spiraling and doodling these spirals. And every time I cross a bridge, it's like my little secret mantras. I go, and I play with energy in my head, and I see like, and with the spiral, I've worked a lot. And then all this knowledge has been sitting, and it's around, not around, 2012 was my first powerful experience with transition of my brother, that is my baby brother, 2012. And he activated me. And I start to go deeper, and for 2 years I went deeper and deeper and deeper. And I was very busy on the outside, but in the same time I will go deeper. And I start to put my life, start to make sense of my life, all this question. So this spiral was born in an instance, like everything was downloaded, but it took me years to understand what everything it is. And it's still
Right.
It's still unfolding.
Right. It doesn't stop. And when you think we reach the zenith or climax, I've achieved it. You've achieved the level, but you have not achieved the it. Love it. Please continue.
Yeah, and yeah, I absolutely resonate. And I was told a long time ago, Tzveta, the moment you think you're there, nope, you're not there. There's more, there's more, there's more. Don't kid yourself, because we are expansion. It's like we are not it even. We are a movement. We are expansion. We are progress. I again from our show. It's like the first introduction a long time ago. If you think of yourself as a verb, you become, instead of moving, instead of walking, you become the walking, you become the touching, you become the very smiling, you become the verb. When we go into the verb, it transcends this idea of who we are. And the spiral, actually, it's a moving organic system. And Kate, this is your spiral. Yes. And I want to first ask you, when you look at your chart, okay, let's do like that. Okay, when you look at your chart, yeah, where it's your attention, the first, what color you're drawn to?
Let me look without my eyes.
That's perfect how you put the spiral.
I normally gravitate, and I'm not doing this because I normally gravitate. My heart always gravitates to blue, even if there were no other colors involved. And someone says, "What's your favorite color?" It's blue, and not only just blue. I like all the spectrum of blue. but it's right in the sky blue. Hence, my son is Eden Sky. You see this blue around my neck, this blue in my finger. It's sky blue. So this is throat chakra kind of stuff. But my favorite color is blue in any form, but I like the right in the middle blue.
Okay, okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, and I will tell you why. Now I'm gonna
I love it.
all my suspicions. Like I always question it, and for me, who to trust? It's every information I run it through our body has the sensory of the truth, and especially when we have chills, it's like a resonance, it's the truth, it's remembrance, and it's like this is very powerful right now in this time. Who to trust? It's like question everything and run it, and the information, it's like if I hear this information, if it doesn't make me feel good, it's not the truth. It's not, for me, it's not the truth. Unless it's part of me that I have not unraveled yet, the stones of my own. Um, we are perfect, yet we always have to unravel something. And this is the joy, actually, of this process. So, I just want to explain the terminology here. This is organic system. It's technology. It's a movement. Could you put the chart there so I can talk about this? All right, this is your chart. Perfect. Let's do this. So this is how the ancient all over the world, the ancient, they perceive, and this is ancient and new. It's all because through this system, you can put your whole life on one page. You can condense, integrate. This is a time traveling, and I will explain you a little bit later how you can time travel. This is a map. But it's not the territory. It's a guiding. And it works on multiple layers, like everything, but it's how the whole universe works, and I don't need to convince you at all about the spiral. It's universal knowledge. What I have done is just made it very simple to understand that. All this knowledge, I have run many different ancient teaching through the spiral, and everything fits perfectly. From numbers, astrology, tarot, the elements, mathematics, sacred geometry, and it's gone more and more and more and more and more. I don't even want to go there, but everything. And what I encourage people, you run whatever you know as teachings, you run it for yourself after you have done this, and you will see incredible resonance here. So the colors are the 4 elements. The spirit comes from the center, and each element, it's present in every moment. But this is just for simplicity, the dynamic of the elements. This is everything. We're coming from one source, one energy. But as we come here in the illusion of being separated, it's the creator wanting to express itself. So this is a very basic model where we can go through your life. The yellow, I'm going to go quickly. The yellow is the air element. The spirit comes. Let's go through the yellow. This is our mental attitude. This is the way we brought up as mentality. This is the mind.
Just to let you know, my birthstone is yellow topaz. So,
all right. Yeah, and I will tell you one again. You see here down where your name is, and it's an essence. This is your soul essence.
I do.
And this is a channel that goes across the page to the other corner. And I'm going to talk about these channels as well. But this is your soul essence. It's yellow. It's and now this is not a prediction. I want to make big disclaimer. I'm not predicting what is gonna. This is, think it as the weather. The weather chart is the energy chart that it gives you what stage you are, what are the predominant energetics behind what is happening, and how to really integrate what is relevant for you. And we will go more. So the yellow, this is, thank you for confirming, and please stop me again if you see things like that. Then we move to the water. Water is relationship. It's water, it's feelings, emotions, everything that is unconscious, hidden, dark, feminine, everything. It's the, and we can go here for a long time in the water element. It's powerful. The next element, fire. This is our action. This is the actions that we take. This is the passion, living with the heart. This is as well the anger. Water is the sadness and depression. I'm bringing everything here so to make sense and how to integrate. The earth, it's our body, where my money, and I will tell you a little, like I had this in my life, the material stage, and I was very spiritual. And I'm giggling just saying this because I will tell you now what I think about spirituality. It's for me, spirituality is simply the desire to know yourself. It's like people, when they ask me, are you spiritual? Oh, you're so spiritual. No, it's a desire to know who I am, and that's it. And this is the who you are. This is the spirituality, and this is how you started. It's turning in, and my website, the very top, when you will finally start this journey to yourself. This has a deep meaning for me.
I just, whatever word you think I'm going to say, I'm saying it. I freaking loved it. The journey to yourself. This is not a plug, but I'm going to take this opportunity to plug. 30 years of my life compressed. My new bestseller, Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. You mentioned the word bridge. This book is so lemon yellow. I never would have chose this color. You know, it's just yellow. And, right.
And can you put it up a little bit? I want to check something.
Sure, by all means.
Just like
how's that? How's that?
All right. Huh. Incredible. All right. I'm yes, everything is connected, and the bridging. We are the bridges. We are these bridges, and it's a powerful title. It's time to bridge. It's time to bridge differences. It's time to bridge our inner conflict. It's time to bridge cultures, language. No language is needed soon. I hope so. I really hope so. Beautiful.
It is where we're going. We're going to the place that has more dialogue or more information than beyond the words that are being said. And for those out there who are growing your spiritual muscles, you understand that. You know, we can listen to people. We listen to friends. We've been working all week. You might live 9 to 5 working in a cubicle, and you want to go out there and hang out in a club and have a few drinks and give your opinions about politics or about your life or whatever. And that's all cool because it's venting and releasing and expressing and being with people you care about. But when opinions become non-important, in fact, they fall lifelessly to the ground like castles in the air, is when you try to use your opinion as a teaching tool, it doesn't go anywhere. Because it's just an opinion. It's so slanted. The truth is not about words. Words from any scripture will help us get to another place. But the ultimate place that we are going to achieve, which is not there, it's actually here, Where we're trying to get to is actually here. And when we get here, we realize that words actually soil and sully the divine sacred language, doesn't it?
You said it so perfectly. Your expression and way of expressing yourself is like powerful, powerful. It's powerful beyond. Yes, yeah. And we see how many families, friends are destroyed by exactly what you say, the opinions, the split. I'm this side and I'm that side. Like it's time to choose the inner side. And I called it, and probably you called it, and many of us called it, I'm calling it the inner net. The inner net. When we connect, and this the spiral actually, through the spiral, there's so much more through this. When we reach our own center, going in, when we reach the center, actually we are automatically thrown into the collective. We cannot know the collective without knowing ourselves, because we are the collective. And I will say, can I say uncensored words here?
You
Hello?
say whatever makes you feel on fire.
Okay, I just need your permission because I respect your space here. I've been saying for a long time ago, and it came a long time ago, like on my fire in time of a big, because anger actually is the seed, passion is the flower, it's the fragrance. So, and we cannot take out the anger. We only can, and I work with the body, with the movement, with the dynamic of the body, and the energetic of our emotions. That we only can transform things. Anger is the most powerful force, and it's when it's the vertical force. We don't lash it at somebody. We don't bring it back home. We transform it. And your anger, and I have a big compassion for angry people because they carry such a potential of passion. It's incredible.
If you don't mind, I understand it, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah.
One, if you have this passion for angry people, then you are in love with me. Because in my past, I was an angry son of a bitch. I grew up in whatever background, and I still struggle loosely with anger, but like you were saying, I'm starting to understand it. And I love that you acknowledged anger for the beautiful quality that it is, and not some hellfire and damnation, and you're going to have karmic residuals and backlash because of anger. If I get at least consciously, Naya, personally for me, I understand unconscious anger. You just throwing things about and you just slapping people with your words and your hands and you're doing all this. You can bet. But if I get angry, the first part of me gets unconscious angry. I'm like everybody else. I'm throwing out words because I'm unconscious. But when I realize after 5 minutes or however long it takes or however little it takes for me to become conscious of my anger, I am wielding a lightsaber. And in that moment, doesn't justify me being whatever. When I become conscious of my anger, it becomes very deliberate. I'm very conscious of what I'm doing because now I brought my full awareness into the situation. Says, I have a reason to be angry. Doesn't take me off the hook for my own miscreation, but you are not allowed to do this in my presence. So I'm just going to leave. Is that what you do all the time? You're just going to run away? No, I'm not running away. I just choose not to be around this freaking nonsense. So my anger becomes a point that's being made versus something I'm doing unconsciously to hurt other people because I'm not taking responsibility for my life. Is this sort of what you mean by making anger a vertical action versus a horizontal one?
All right. I'm gonna use different words here. And me if this is a very powerful conversation. Actually, it's turning out. All right. How I understand anger. Think it as a fire. And here, you don't need to put the chart. I'm just gonna show one of your channel, your meta channel, it's fire. This is your, they're the 4 channels, and we work with air, and the fire, it's your first cross. This is, I call it the cross of the integrity of your own soul. Your own soul carries integrity. And I want to show you, if you see 1111, what for me means 1111 when it's a magic number, but it's magical because it shows us the integrity. And what is integrity for me, from my point? To be able to speak, to think, to feel, to speak, and to act in alignment. So when these 4 are aligned, whatever you think, whatever you feel, however you act, you're in your integrity. And from our creation point, we are not going to be given this energy without, well, for vain. It's not human creation. It's not a mental creation. Anger, it's like the seed, but it needs to grow. So from understanding to understand that when somebody's angry and you give them space to lash out, when they are not threatened, when they feel calm, people get more angry of their own anger because the anger is condemned. Our own condemnation of anger, and anger when it's expressed naturally in the purity. Even somebody lash at you and you hold this space with, and it's you have to be able to work with your own anger. And this is where I started. I want to say this first and then we talk more. In one of this moment of anger, I say, fuck the people, but with rage. And then I stop and I say, I'm the fucking people. Fuck me.
I totally understand it. If you don't let the it of it out, you're going to pop. So since you're popping, why not take advantage of the actual popping versus it happening in a way that serves no purpose? So I totally agree with the fact that, if this is happening in me, and I often tell people I have throughout most of my spiritual life, when something goes down and I become vertically angry versus horizontally, I say, don't take me personally. And I go on my way to say, come here, I love you. Don't take me personally. Just let me vent. And when I get this out the way, then you can see that I'm just in my space. I'm doing what I need to do so we can come back together and unify in a conscious way. So yeah, I got to get this out.
I'm going to say this and make a big, to emphasize, or we are not going to come together. And this is where we've been trapped. I've been trapped. I'm talking only from my point, because I've been this sweet girl, good girl. Don't try to step on somebody's toe, but this fire. And there are times where we need to depart with people, because and I'm talking from a very a passionate and very deep understanding that this oneness that we are one consciousness. We all know this consciousness dealing with itself, pretending it's hurt itself, pretending it's all these pretensions, but this is us. We're talking to us. We, from our base, again, I'm going back to the base, the illusion that we are separate. On one level, we're never separated. We can never be separated. And this explosion of consciousness and this is one of the birthing of the spiral. Imagine something infinite. Imagine something with no limits. Expanding, expanding, expanding. Whatever it wants, it creates. Whatever desire it creates in an instant moment. Imagine doing this for 100 years. Imagine whatever you think, you have it, you experience it. Now imagine this for 1,000 years. Then you go and extend it even further, millions of years. You have been doing if you can get into this, if you can get into the sense of this infinite, limitless, powerful, magnificent, whatever it wants, it does it, and over and over and over and over again for infinity. There's one problem, and this is, in that moment, it's boredom. It's bored. It's bored out of his skull. And what it creates, he's creating, and this is just one of the creation of the spiral, I will create finite time and space and restrictions. So I will come here, disperse myself in millions of pieces. I will forget who I am. And here, from that point, I have a great respect for the big horrors, Hitler, and I'm touching very powerful, but I have nothing to lose anymore.
I understand. I understand touching the powerful that seems negative. It's just powerful. It's how we look and be with things that are more powerful than the things that we're claiming are powerful in the first place. Let's talk about, since you threw out the name Hitler. We're not going to lean into that. This is no aim to get people upset. But let's talk about such power, and we're going to use Hitler or Jesus.
I just want to, yes.
By all means.
Yes, because this is, again, I have great respect, because these beings, they are pieces of creation that disperses itself in millions of pieces. And these were the pieces that are playing the game of life on behalf of creation to forget itself. So when they dispersed, they went very far from the center. And this is where I'm going to put Jesus. It's close to the center. Hitler, Stalin, all these figures, they went very, very far from the center. And I have a great respect because they're playing the game on behalf of divinity perfectly. So this expansion, and then now it's a contraction actually, where it's bringing us all together. So for me, for many years, we've been collecting ourselves, and I have created the energy game that I've been doing for years, talking. Imagine every authority that you look up, you bring it into your heart. Every person that you look down, you bring it into your heart. And
love it.
And this is where we bring the gap. We bring this gap left and right, up and down, in and out, and we bring them all home. And tomorrow play the game and start. You see somebody, this is me, and this is me, and this is the sweet asshole, and this is this fucking rich bitch. This is me, and this is like, and this is me, and this is me. And you start to claim it and own it and bring it back. And this is the first, and it's like, it's a game, started as a game to experience it. And then you will see that we're starting to bridge this gap of the illusion that we are separated.
There is a, in the spiritual, Hindi as well as Buddhist, there is a word or words that describes the in-breath and the out-breath of God of the universe. So is the in-breath, so ham. The
Yes.
inner and the outer, the in-breath and the out. And there's also in the Hindi tradition what is called Leela. Leela means divine sport or play. Everything, nothing in the universe happens without God's permission. So everything that is happening is a learning tool. So Jesus and Hitler are in this level of playing field are the same, equally the same being being differently. It's the same teaching tool to say, who are you between these two extremes? That brings us back to the DaVinci spiral center, which is, I am the center of the universe, as I watch this dance of in and out just move about me, and I can just meander through this how I choose if I choose consciously. Would you say?
Yes, or we're choosing unconsciously as well.
As
And
well. As well.
as well. And it's beautiful. One day there's gonna be time where we're gonna remember our unconsciousness. We're gonna remember and we're gonna have giggles. We are gonna have such a it's like looking back into our lives, and you done something stupid, unconscious, but you have that laughter about this. You a story to tell about this, something that is so much fun. And I know one day we're gonna look at us, because on the collective spiral, and I'm gonna just show it, on the collective spiral, we are 8 years old kids playing. We are right here. I'm gonna show it to you. We're right here playing, and I'm gonna explain so for people. Gosh, we need like 5 hours to go over everything. But we are 8 years old kids now that are growing in this playground. And it's a very interesting, if we see this is my toy and this is my toy, and we are kids. And if we treat ourselves with the gentleness of the kids, we are maturing, yes, but we don't need to push it even. I was gobbling so much, like going. And it's time for us to like just stop a little bit. Just, oh, for God's sake, smell the roses. Feel it. We don't need to grow so fast. This is my feeling. And this Corona, oh, I've got so much to say about that. It's a blessing in disguise, beyond. I'm not gonna say more. And it's a choice. Everything comes to the choice. And I'm talking from experience. And I'm gonna emphasize this, because say, oh, Tzveta, for you it's so easy. No, it's a choice. When my son died, and I'm using these words purposefully, when Christian kicked the bucket, and we laugh with him so many times about this. And who says that you have to cry? The crying and the desperation is only from a belief system that it's untrue, totally untrue. We are. Yeah, and I've pushed many people buttons with this, but I do it with love.
When my mother passed away many years ago, I went to South Louisiana to see my family. I got there. My mother was sleeping. I called my dad. I said, Dad, we're 10 minutes away. He made biscuits and coffee, got us ready. And I said, Dad, we've been traveling 7 hours. He goes, I said, we're going to go get some rest. He said, good. When you wake up, your mother will be ready to see you. I said, great. 2 hours later, I woke up to walk into my house to find paramedics and my sister looking at me saying, Mom just had a massive stroke. My mother passed from it. As they brought the hospital bed, there was nothing they can do for her from the stroke. 2 weeks later, eventually she's going to pass from lack of water and food. Knowing I have to leave very soon, and I can't stay for the funeral because my son has to go to school. All that being said, when I got into the realization of the reality of what is happening, I shed tears for about 5 minutes. It was gone. I saw what was happening before me as something so powerful and so beautiful that I'm so blessed. And I think the reason for a lot of people when they go into grief is a powerful thing, as well as like anger. It's a very powerful thing. It takes us to a place of true love for ourselves and for said people. But I had no grief. it truly just wasn't present with me because I still feel no disconnect from my mother. Basically, the word I use is she's not dead. She's just invisible. And so I just feel her. I'm with her. I'm her son. I'm the product. I'm the spawn. I'm the lineage. How when we become consciously aware of our lineage and the parent, it should become apparent when I'm conscious of God, then I don't feel this disconnect. I don't feel trouble in my life and so forth and so on. And so thank you for that beautiful reminder.
How old you were? I'm going through your spiral. How
This
old?
is probably 12, 10, 12 years ago. Let's see, we are in 2000. Oh my God. Hello, COVID. 21. Let's say this was 2010 kind of thing, 12 years ago.
So how old you were 10 years?
57 minus 12, maybe 60, 47 minus 2, 45.
47.
Well, right now I'm 57 minus 10 would be 47, and minus the 2 for the 12 would be 45.
All right. 45, around 45, because 47. All right. All right. This is about here. I'm gonna just circle it. But okay. This is first, it's in your water stage. There are 9 stages. These are cycles that we go through. Each person is different. There are 108 archetypals in this spiral. And again, we go deeper after that. But this is from a mathematical point. And if you go and dig this number 108, it's phenomenal number. And I was given this number, and for years I could not make up what it is. And many things unfolded, but we travel. So I'm gonna go through the basics. So, and I'll explain why it's not losing your mom transition in your water stage. There is the mind. And if I take out, I'm going to do something here in your chart. I'm going to take out the water and the fire. This is actually what is happening, like this. The mind, whatever we think and believe, it's projected on the screen of our reality with the this is the earth element. So our reality is a mirroring, exactly mirroring how we operate. And mentality includes many things. It's not only how you think, it's how you structure, what you believe. There's layers and layers and layers. But generally speaking, this reality from the spiral point, and this is knowledge from many different ancients, it's put together. Nothing, I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, but the mind, it's projected. This is a screen of the reality that we see and experience. And the quality of your experience is determined by the quality of your thinking. And then we have the two, because we are in the dense reality.
Excuse me.
Yes.
That was so. I have to interrupt.
Yes.
The quantity.
Quality. The quality.
Please repeat. So repeat that again. The quality of your.
Our experiences are equivalent to the quality of our thinking.
Wow. Agreed. Totally. It's so flabbergasted me.
And I'm gonna, like, it's a logical. It's so logical. It's our mind. You think a thought, and I'm gonna give you expression, and I'm gonna give you the formula. And you, again, you know the formula, how creation creates, and how we create every single day. Every single day we create this consciously or unconsciously. And from the point of creation, creation doesn't give a dull about we are conscious or not conscious. I just want to point this. This is what I feel. It doesn't care if we are conscious or we are not conscious, because it knows that from the very basic, we are connected. This is just an experience. But for us, it's important to get conscious if we don't like our reality. And this is the only reason when we slept to awaken, but from a point of creation, it knows already that we are already perfect. It knows already that we are safe. It knows already that we are like seeing yourself through the eyes of the divine.
And also, from a religious, dogmatic, fundamental point of view, what we do does not threaten its existence whatsoever. It knows who, in fact, it is so not threatened. It knows who and what it and where it is. It's like you either need to get aboard this train of forever eternal life, and I'm patient. You can do this silly dance that you do for many eons of time, but eventually you will homecoming cross the bridge to the soul. There's no way we cannot get there. We're just playing on earth because on whatever realities we like for however long we choose, and win or lose, love song or the blues. It's not threatened whatsoever by the choices we make, so it has no need to get rid of us, to hit its delete button to say, you sinner, you, smack, and get rid of you and delete you. That would be deleting a part of itself.
Yes, it's much more intelligent. And this is where my deep trust comes, that this is the background that I operate for many years. This universe, it's benevolent. It's beyond, everything is done out of love. Even the co-killing is done out of love by itself. And the background is very, what is your background? What can you fall back? And this is in one great book. I've read so many books, but I would love to read your book. I absolutely would love to read your book. One of the book, the Dark Night of the Soul, Saint Juan de Cruz. I believe it's his name, but doesn't matter. And he said there's a inner conflict. There's an outer conflict, and then there's the inner conflict. But the inner conflict within the soul creates the outer conflict. And this is when we have the conflict within, we cannot create nothing but conflict outside. So this is one of my hypnosis, and it's creative Ericksonian hypnosis that I studied, the NLP, and how to use the words. It's point exactly to first to look, if you see constantly fight outside, just take a moment and see what is the conflict inside, because most of the time it's a conflict inside that project on the screen of your reality. Whatever there are billions of points of reality. And somebody say, but Tzveta, don't you see the reality? My reality is very different. My reality is very different. Not because of anything else, but because of the way of my thinking. And here, I'm going to give you the formula how creation creates. Whatever you think, it generates an emotion. And each emotion generates action. And being inspired to action or contracted to action. And then boom, reality is manifested. And I'm going to demonstrate you with a few examples. Very basic, very, like if you believe, a stranger will get you. If from very little somebody programmed you, because this is the programming learning, it's programming. And it's nobody to blame, just to accept that there are things that are not yours. Most of the things that we, as we grow up, they're not ours. They are virus passed from generation to generation. This is the real virus. The mentality is gonna kill us much faster than any physical virus. And this is one of my take on this, where I'm coming from. So whatever, if I was programmed, if my parents told me, Tzveta, be very, very careful of strangers, don't talk to strange people. How does it feel? It's contraction. When I see a strange person, I will contract, I will feel scared. This will create crazy action, and boom, my reality, have you noticed that people that are always suspicious of other people, they're the people that always something happened to them, somebody steal from them, because they carry the charge of something is gonna get me. And this is, again, going back to the illusion that we are separated. So the background is everything and everyone. It's my expression, and everything and everyone, it's here to help me grow. Everything that is happening to me, it's here to shift me. And many times I don't know how it's going to happen, but this is my background. I do believe that something most incredible and magical is happening to all of us. And it's like you call it a spell, you call it a force. I know. And with the power of the spiral, I'm announcing it. It's true, and it's already happening for people. So this is the 3-step. How you think, create an emotion. The emotion creates action, and here, and this is very powerful, especially from the Western mentality. And this is not only people here, but there's a very specific Western mentality that operates. What are you doing? What are you doing? What have you done? The doing is the 3rd step of creation. It's the 3rd step. What are you thinking? It's more appropriate in this case. So whatever we think, so if we don't like the very fast way, if you don't like the reality, go and make your mind very liquid. If your mind with strong opinions, it's rigid. This is the rigidity. You're gonna hold this reality. It's gonna feel very rigid, very solid. But if you go, and this is another investigation with Castaneda, I've done very deep a journey with Carlos Castaneda, and lucid dreaming. And when you start to make your mind liquid, this reality start to bend for you. It's become liquid because it's a mirroring. So the battlefield is between here, the water and the fire. And I'll explain. So the mind, whatever we think, we manifest. It is much more to be said, but the simplicity, whatever you think, you're going to manifest. Thanks God, we are, because we are very little in that scheme. We are 8 years old, we are still kids. We are not responsible. Can you imagine if you think guns immediately are manifested? And here, the grace of the divine, it gives us a chance, a delay. This is the delay that is in a 3D density. There's a delay, and the delay this is the battlefield. So
the delay helps us to refine our process. I've always, in fact, in my first book, it says that in this situation, time is actually a benefit because of the fears encapsulated in our head. If it was not for the buffer of time, you would be in a whole world of absolute shit. Because you couldn't handle the monsters and the reality that would just happen, which can happen when you die. If you're not clear, if you believe in fire, torment, hell, damnation, guilt, I have regret, I've done so many horrible things. When you step into the window beyond time, which no time exists, and you begin to be yourself, things begin to happen immediately, and we curl into this spiritual fetal position that's known as hell. And so time, as you're saying, in this way is actually grace from God and of benefit. So, well, I don't like what's happening versus slam and it crushes us.
Yes, absolutely agree with you. So the battlefield and the time that takes to manifest is between the water and the fire. What the water represent is the sensitive
Of
part.
course it is.
It's connected to the mother. We are beings that carry two energies. No, this is not gender. We carry the masculine and the feminine. And our inner struggle is to integrate them. So the spiral, actually my process, how I work, the process is, and this process happens all the time, every day. We activate, this is activation, transformation, transmutation, and then integration. So this is always this is my teachings, and I'm ready to do the Spiral Academy where I can start to really give this knowledge and to start to teach other people to do this. It's very powerful. And so many things are unraveling and I needed to activate your energy. And there's a code. I want to talk about the code. These codes, I released them a long time ago, and for a long time I didn't know what to do with these codes. And I know, okay, I've got these codes, but what to do? And then I had another burst. You release the codes, each person, because I call it VIP, very intimate and personal. Creation goes through us and it's very intimate and personal. It's gonna work through your feelings, through your emotions, through your way of thinking, and it's very personal. It's gonna hit you where most hurts, but only for one reason, to open you up, to pop you up. The hurting is not to punish you. The hurting is to say, yo, don't go this direction. Don't think like this. What I'm thinking, that I'm hurting so much. What I'm believing, that I'm hurting so much. And this is what saved me, this way of thinking. It saved me and many other things. I'm going to kick his ass. And do you know how many times
I posted it right at the moment. I love it.
I kick his sexy ass?
Darling, believe it or not, our time has flown by like that. Time is not real, except that I have a beautiful son that's visiting.
Yes.
This definitely requires a part 2 and likely a part 3.
All right.
Would you like to leave us with a big bag of beautiful, delicious words, which has information beyond the words that we can apply and use in our lives for a betterment of ourselves?
I want to leave you with, I've prepared 3 tools, but I'm going to leave them, the other 2. I'm going to give you immediate tool to whatever you think is the problem, as confusion, whatever you think. Imagine there's a spiral that is running around you. Just imagine. And you give this to the spiral and let it spin it. Put it into the machine, the centrifuge. Put it to spin and go to sleep. Give it to the spiral. It's gonna reorganize it. It's gonna restructure it, and it's gonna bring it to you in a new form, with a new way of seeing what you're seeing, and you're gonna have the resolution. There's so much more to talk about this, but yes, this is a powerful magic with a lot of science behind it. Yes.
For those who are new to this way of thought that may be coming here in the future, what she means by, I'm assuming, when you go to sleep at night and you offer this and you give it up to the spiral, she meant what she said, but let me relabel that for those who might be new.
Okay.
Offer this to the stream of the current, which is the breath of God. In other words, Is your life moving in such a level of flow that you're moving like a feather on the breath of God? Is what she's saying. She's calling it the DaVinci spiral, and you offer your life to the spiral. What she's saying is, can we let go enough to where we just simply become the feather, the angels, if you will, feathers, floating down the stream of life on the breath of God. It gets really easy. I really enjoyed my time with you, sister. We need to do this again soon. Part 2 and part 3 if necessary. You're always welcome here in Center of Light.
Great inspiration you are.
Any other final thought you would like to leave us with? Let me ask you this. I ask my guests often, what is God to you? And the word God is limiting in and of itself. But if you can give us some adjectives of what it is for you, would you describe that for everyone like you did the DaVinci spiral, which I elaborate a little more like the breath. So to help other people integrate that we're all doing the same dance differently. Some people do the foxtrot, some people do the hustle, some people do the two-step, some people don't step, some people sit on the couch and flick the remote. What would you like to offer us with before we go?
Many ways to explain it. The most recent experience I had with what we call God, I was driving in the car with incredible music, speed, music, and inner joy and expansion. This is how God talks through us when you're excited, when you forget all what, when you're out of your head, we come home and it's God. This is God. It's not a subject. It's a verb. If it's ecstatic.
Joy is evidence of the presence of God. You know, people look for God, looking for the light. The places in your life that are already illumined, God has already seen. God has already amalgamated. The places you don't like so much is where you will find God. Because the places you have joy, God has been found. Those aspects of God has been found. So where you're having turmoil, you're just not simply seeing the joy or the God that is in this situation, which through turmoil is another word of saying you're just simply not seeing the grace. It's just easy because it's not a religion. It's something you do religiously, which is you look out, you see, and you be with yourself. This feels good. If you want to find God, don't get in the mind, get in the heart. The heart will always tell you the level of joy. And peace and joy and bliss is always your barometer. Because, well, Keith, you saying that if everything is always good, I'm going to feel blissful and joyful? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is in between peace and discord is you, which is the peace of the whole, which brings you peace, and realize that you are centered, planted, and there's nothing that is ever, is now, or will ever be created that is greater than you. And when we integrate that, then the peace and the joy, the peace and the discord becomes something else. It becomes ecstasy, bliss, and infinite. It's like, what is this? Love you. You're welcome here anytime, dear.
Thank you.
Everyone, tonight my guest, DaVinci Spiral, Tzveta DaVinci. We've been speaking about her beautiful creation, her beautiful life, and everything else that makes her powerful as it makes all of us. She is full of fire. I love her fire. I always say earth, air, ether, water, this is all powerful. Jesus said, the one before me baptized you in water. I come to baptize you in fire. And so now that we're in the fire component, when you're willing to, I'm sorry to tell you, my condolences, some part of you is going to die. And I don't mean in your physical life. That is going to happen. But in order to achieve that which is beyond the physical life, in your physical life, what you know as you or what you think is you, depending on who you are, is going to die if you want it. in order for you to be reborn. Peace, love, and light. Joy is the presence of God. I love you beyond measure. Do you understand the treasure and the pleasure you bring to the world? And do you really believe that about yourself? The world will be a whirlwind for you. If you need teachers, they are here. I am here. Tzveta's here. People are here. Don't fall into the nonsense. You may not know the difference between what is beneficial and nonsense. Again, I am here. Tzveta's here. When people immediately throw you a fishing lure and you want to bite it immediately, I would ask you to stop. Take a breath. See if it feels like the utmost of what you think you are worth. No, what you feel you are worth. Always inner reflect.